Hey everyone, it's Peta Party. Today's video, we're going to go over a question that I get asked a lot, which is, should I be buying sealed product or should I be buying singles? I have a bit of both. For me, the main thing is I like what I'm collecting. I don't collect hardly any GX or 5D stuff because it's not what I grew up with. When you look at pretty well everything I've got, it's from classic Yu-Gi-Oh! So your first 11, 12, 13 sets, depending on what list you're going by. Or if it has Yu-Gi on the box, or secret rares versus ultimate rares, whatever you want to go with, doesn't really matter to me. So what I look for is the stuff that I was cracking open out of packs when I was kids, stuff that I actually like, stuff that I was watching in the anime when I was growing up, and, you know, cards that I was seeing getting used in the TV show, and I was trying to pull out of the packs myself, use them in decks, whatever else. So that should be your number one focus, because if the market ever tanks, you're going to be stuck with it, or you're going to have to sell it for a loss. So one thing you should always be cognizant of is, if everything goes flop, am I at least going to have a bit of cardboard that I'm going to like looking at? So that should be your number one priority. Collect what you like and go from there. I do a bit of a hybrid approach. I collect what I like, but I also buy other stuff to buy more stuff that I like, if that makes more sense. Generally, like if I'm buying up someone's collection and it's got a bunch of LOB stuff, but it's got a bunch of GX stuff as well, I'm not going to say, oh no, I don't want that, keep that, sell it on eBay. I'll try to buy the full collection for a bit cheaper, so I'm getting what I want at hopefully a reduced price, but also I can make a bit of money on the other stuff to help me buy other stuff that I actually like. So, for example, I bought a collection, I'm going to say last year? Yeah, end of last year. Had a pile of old classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards from LOB, Metal Raiders, the first few sets. But they also had a bunch of ultimate rares from the GX and 5Ds. Did 5Ds have which ones? Anyways. That I didn't necessarily want, but I knew that they were worth money and that other people collected them. So just because I didn't want them for my own personal collection, I knew that other people would want them, and I could use that money to buy more stuff that I wanted for myself. That's not to say that if you're hardcore into 5Ds or GX stuff, that what you're collecting is stupid or not worth any money or anything like that. It's just not my jam. So if you're looking for a specific set to try and collect or invest in, one thing I look for is the price of the sealed boxes versus the price of the singles. So looking at Metal Raiders up until, I'd say, 3-4 months ago, for example, the box prices had stayed pretty well the same. They were at around $2,200, $2,500, around there for at least a year. Might have been a little bit more, within 10% or so. So the box is pretty stable, but the single prices had started to just skyrocket. They were just going through the roof. Like, you had Mirror Force going from $300, $350 in January, all the way up to like $700, $800 by May, which is, you know, you're doubling your money on that. But the boxes had remained pretty stable. And when the singles started to jump up in price, you're hit with what's called arbitrage. So if you open the box, you can make money by opening the box and, you know, cracking open the packs, selling the packs loose, grading the singles, whatever else. So when the opportunity for arbitrage comes into play, that's generally a good sign that there's going to be some value in the sealed booster boxes or sealed packs, whatever you can afford or whatever you want to get into. One thing I will caution, if you're looking at getting into, say, like a sealed pack of Labyrinth of Nightmare versus sealed box, is know who you're buying your packs from and make sure that you're not getting something that's been scaled or tampered with or has already all the good pulls taken out of the box. Like we talked about in another video, the rarity in the booster boxes is pretty well set for all the old sets in particular. So if someone pulls, say, 2 ultra rares in their first 4 or 5 packs somehow, then you're not going to have any ultra rares in the rest of the box. So even if they're not technically scaling the packs to take all the hollows out of it, the box has been searched. Generally, the ultra rares are worth way more than the supers, and you don't have a guaranteed chance at the secret. So sometimes people just throw the rest on eBay, and even if there are some hollows left in it to make them look legitimate, they've got a lot of the good hits or pulls already taken out of the box. So you're not getting a really equal chance, and that's why generally loose booster packs don't sell for the price of a sealed box. So like if you're looking at, say, 24 packs of Labyrinth of Nightmare, loose, they're not going to cost you the same price of a full booster box. That has its pluses or minuses. If you want to just crack open packs for YouTube channel or have a bit of fun, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're looking for like a stable long-term investment or return on your initial investment, sealed booster boxes are way better than sealed packs, because you've got the guarantee there. As long as nothing shady going on with the seal and hasn't been resealed or anything like that, you're gonna get what you paid for in terms of what's going to be inside the packs, inside of the box. Now, if you compare that to the singles, I also do the opposite. So I'll look at the price of the singles versus the price of a booster box. So like using, I got an empty box down here actually. Legacy of Darkness. The booster boxes now have been upticking the last several months, but even the graded PSA 10s are super cheap. Like you can buy most of the super rares from this set for under $100, and it's by far the worst printed quality set out of any of the original 11. Everything in this box is going to be off-centered, and if you somehow pull hollows that are even-centered, you're not going to get your money back if everything that you grade comes back at 10. Unless you get like a Yada Garasu from the 24-pack box or an Injection Fairy Lily from the 36. That gets a 10. Because then you're looking at some decent money. So if I'm looking at something like that, and a sealed booster box is going for, say, $1,500 for easy math, you can try and find them for 13 or 14, but that's generally what you're going to be looking at now, that all the cheaper ones have been bought up. And if you're going to, best case scenario, you pull 7 hollows, so you get your secret rare out of it. So if the secret rare doesn't get a 10, even if the other 6 hollows that you pull from that box get 10s outside of like a Luster Dragon or a Tyrant Dragon, and you get both of those in the box, and they're, $400, $500, $600 cards depending on who you can sell them to, you're still not going to make your money back from the box, because generally, like I said, everything in that set's selling for under $100. Ultra rares, you're looking at 150. A couple of them are going for 200, but outside that, they're not really going for a lot. So, like, best case scenario, say you pull Tyrant Dragon and it gets a 10, and you pull another ultra rare, that gets a 10. You're looking at absolute best case scenario, if you can flip it right away, $700, $800. And then you've got 4 super rares. So say even, again, you defy all odds and you pull a Luster Dragon, you're looking at, say, $400, maybe even $500. you've got 3 other holos that are going to be worth like $50 to 100. So, like, absolute best case scenario, you're still not making your money back on that box. So that tells me that either the box is overpriced or the singles are way undervalued and underpriced. So generally, especially with all this old classic stuff in particular, if it seems like it's underpriced, it probably is going to be, unless it's a complete garbage set like Rise of Destiny that was printed into oblivion and no one really likes the cards out of it. But even then, if you can get it super cheap, it's going to go up. Ancient Sanctuary boxes last year were selling for $250, and now they're selling at $750 a year later. So, like, even these quote-unquote garbage sets that no one wants, they're going up in value. Like, Ancient Sanctuary tripled in the last year. So just because you might not necessarily see the value there doesn't mean that other people won't. A good comparison would be, say, Legendary Collection of Pokemon. That set was worthless forever. It's only in the last couple of years that it really started an uptick, especially in the last year or so. It just completely skyrocketed. So it always helps to have a nice balanced portfolio if you're looking at collecting and investing a bit in sealed from a few different sets. Same thing with your sealed stuff. If you're looking at set cards versus prize cards, or like tournament pack cards, you know, whatever your hobby is, whatever you like to collect, generally you can't really go wrong unless you're getting into stupid territory like me, when you're trying to do all kinds of registry sets and grade non-holos and rares and stuff like that. As long as you stick to the holos from their original sets, or you're getting into the like Shonen Jump prize cards like Cyberstein or something like that, you're not really going to be as risky as if you're getting into the more speculative stuff, more modern stuff like 10,000 Dragon, or some of the even Starlight rares have been doing really well. So that's pretty much it. It's going to come down to personal preference. I like to collect a bit of both, especially if it can help me pay for other parts of the hobby that I like that are also going up. So basically, if you're liking what you're collecting, you're already doing pretty good. Try and have a balanced portfolio a bit. Try to get some sealed, try to get some singles. If you're looking for an opportunity, look at the price of one compared to the other. Generally, if one is underpriced, it's going to be undervalued compared to the other one, and you're going to have some opportunity.